Welcome back to Curious Horse. Today we're getting ready to do my Christmas photo shoot for my large herd. And this is a big milestone for us because I usually only bring my 3 mares to free range in the nature paddock, and I've never actually let the boys free range before. This is going to be a huge milestone and part of the process of letting my entire herd out in our new nature paddock, which I designed to emulate a more natural environment and for them to roam around like horses would in the wild. I know there's going to be challenges, as you can imagine, but I'm confident that we'll be able to get through them all. Today is going to be a Christmas photo shoot with the horses. I'm bringing 5 to the nature paddock, 5. So they're all in their costumes. I've never done this many horses before. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to walk Javelin and Sarge and see how they do. To recap where we are on my farm journey with my nature paddock today, I figured I would share a little background on how we got here today. So I bought my first farm in 2022. It has been my dream to own a horse farm from the earliest memories growing up in England that I can think of, and I have been in the process of manifesting this my entire life. Nana, come! Walk. I've been manifesting as a child. It's what I do. I think you guys know this is one of my hallmarks. And also, going through hardships in life can be our biggest motivators. It makes us resilient. It makes us adaptable and more prepared for future challenges in life. Good boy. So here's a little background on myself. During university, one of my professors said, "You can thank your parents for the messed up things that you went through, because these negative experiences can sometimes lead to an extreme amount of personal growth in adulthood." Now, personally, I prefer not to use the word thankful because I think thankful should only be used if someone has done something kind. It's a lot more chaotic with 5 as opposed to 1, then 2, then 3. It's fun. You guys having a good time? And I do not prefer to use the word parent in this example either, because in my opinion, the word parent title, it's not just a biological or legal definition. It is someone that takes a parental role and is loving, like the way I take a parental role for my horse babies. To provide more context on where I'm going with this, growing up, I had the most loving mother you can imagine. She's kind, she's motivated, and she's my role model. But there was another individual that I unfortunately grew up with in the same household that was a night and day difference. He was aggressive, manipulative, devoid of empathy or conscience, and many psychologists or psychiatrists would define this as antisocial, or more commonly, Nana! Maverick! Or more commonly referred to as a sociopath. Without going too far into the detail, but the aggression and lack of attachment that I endured from this particular person encouraged me to seek unconditional love and companionship from my animals that I had growing up. And even as a child, I would never consider myself a victim. I consider myself an overcomer, because in life we can either continue on somebody else's narrative. Good girl. Good baby. Oh, you remember. Like that particular person did, or we can break the chain, and I've always broke the chain. My grandmother always told me that what I'm going through today as a child is not forever. You're nothing like that particular person. You are my grandson. And I vowed that I would never live an unhappy life as an adult like that again. She encouraged me to strive academically and professionally. And always striving to achieve more has allowed me to reach milestones that I never would have dreamed of, to be honest. So actually I did dream of them, but it's just amazing how much that I have achieved. So if you are going through a struggle, so if you are one of those that have also gone through a struggle or going through a struggle today, just use this as a motivator and never let anyone try to define you. Let it make you stronger. But as a result of enduring that unpredictable and abusive upbringing, it has certainly impacted the way I am with my horses today. I'm highly attuned to their emotions at a deep level. I always try to feel what they are experiencing from their perspective. And as you can see, I do not punish my horses, and I never want them to experience stress. If they are acting in an undesirable way, then I try to understand what's causing it, because I know there's no way that my horse for a second wants to feel level of stress or instability. There's something going on. So here, for example, Javelin. Javelin is used to being at the front of the herd, securing the safety of the herd, and historically, when we go on these nature walks, Janana and Maverick follow. Today, Janana is kind of taking the lead with Maverick and Prince, and Javelin is getting frustrated, which I entirely understand. I walk Javelin for two reasons. One, she is the leader of the herd, and she will typically keep the herd glued together. So if I know if I have Javelin with me, the others won't be too far away. But also, Javelin is like me in the sense where we are both not motivated by fear. And because of this fearless nature, she just accelerates and accelerates and accelerates. And she could not only severely get hurt herself, but the others not so capable of this type of acceleration will try to keep up. And that's exposing them to risk, which is just beyond my risk tolerance today. But Javelin also does have an injury, and I have been rehabbing this for quite a long time, and I know for quite a long time, and I just don't know how that impacts her performance today. To be honest, I'm not sure what she's capable of. And again, I will share what happened with her injury, the injury, at a later time. It's the most sensitive topic at my farm, and I've been trying to suppress this, and I know that's not healthy, but I'm just not sure like how to, talk about it today, but I'm almost there. It was too much work holding Javelin and Sarge. Javelin was just getting bothered. So I let Sarge out. First time he's been out in the nature paddock. So he's so independent. I don't think he's gonna hang with us. I think he's gonna do his own thing. Or see what happens. So good babies. Come on, Janana. Walk, walk, walk. This is fun. See, I know Javelin's like super dominant and alpha, but there's benefits of having a lead mare like this because everyone gets in line. Walk, walk, walk. Lead. And she pushes them back. So you always have to accept the good or the bad. And Javelin. Oh, Sarge is coming. Please slow down, guys. This is amazing. Please slow down. Javelin, you are. See how she just pushes them back? You know what you're doing. She's gonna be pissed at Sarge for getting in our way. I just came back. Javelin was getting so annoyed. Janana, wait. She's mad at Sarge for getting in her head. Look, Jeff. Sarge, slow down. Walk, walk, walk. Janana, stop that. Janana! Janana knows her way around here just as much as Javelin. So, Janana, stay with us. Janana! Janana! See, everyone took off, but Janana did wait. She waited for Javelin. She didn't wait for me. That's okay. But she definitely waited for Javelin, and they're very tight, these two mares. So now you know a little about my past and how I believe in overcoming challenges and manifesting. and how my philosophy of horses is based upon mutual trust and giving them a life where they feel safe and abundant, but also exposing them to new situations and environments which allow for their mental development. I also believe that each time my herd and I go through these type of opportunities for transformational growth, that we become more connected as a unit. And you will see with Janana towards the end of the video, not right now, how her Christmas outfit gets shifted significantly, and at this present time she just won't let me catch her. But later she comes up to me and I was able to get rid of this discomfort that was causing. From that moment on, her guard completely dropped and she associated me with a good experience. It may seem insignificant to some, but for those that know Janana and I's history, this is a big deal for Janana and I, because trust is something that we have been building and we are constantly working towards. We are all made of energy. There is an invisible field of energy that radiates off of us, and it moves into the spaces around us. You can literally see the energy exchange Janana made after she realized that I was helping her and I was not just trying to suppress her movement. It's still early days, but this nature paddock is the area that I envision rescuing horses once I have achieved the objective I mentioned on the prior video. Again, it's still early days and I don't have a timeline, but I think it's nice to see the direction that we are heading towards as a channel together. The energy exchange that I mentioned that's going to happen with Janana does not happen right now. You have to wait until a little bit later in the video. Right now we're just going on another path. We're actually going on different paths than you've seen before.
Janana, I see you walking. Come on.
I think if I could have a do-over on how I would have done things today, it would have been a little differently. However, like I said before, whatever is actually captured on the filming of my videos is what is displayed on the final output that you guys get to see. I don't cut out the bad sections or the mistakes, and I don't only illustrate like the perfect magic moments, because showing the good and the bad moments is what makes this channel authentic, and it provides a learning opportunity for me and all of us, and it allows people that are more advanced or curious to contribute. But with that said, if I was to re-record today or start this video over, I think I might have done things differently. I would have definitely had Javelin walking with me, because she is the magnetic force for the direction of the other horses. I would have definitely had Maverick and Prince follow, like they are, because this is aligned with their current place in the herd. They're very, easygoing, and they can kind of follow along.
Sarge, walk, walk, walk. Sarge, come on.
However, Janana and Sarge is where I think I may have switched things up. Janana's position and role in the herd is a little comprehensive than what meets the eye, and I'm still figuring it out. For example, during feeding time, she is very low on the pecking order. Prince will chase Janana off the food, so Prince comes, Janana runs. And then Maverick sees Prince eating, and then Maverick will chase Prince, and then Maverick comes, Prince runs away. Janana will then see Maverick eating, and then she's going to chase Maverick off. So it's not a one-for-one hierarchy, even with the food. But Prince is clearly more dominant over food than Janana is, but socially, Janana is higher up on the pecking order than Prince and Maverick. However, Sarge's place in the herd is a little bit more confusing for me. Maybe it's his breed, but... So Javelin was always at the top of the pecking order when it comes to who eats first. It's always been Javelin. Until recently, when Sarge has become more dominant over Javelin for eating first. So Sarge eats before Javelin, and that was a huge change. And I actually appreciated that change, because it kind of made Javelin a little bit more respectful. But based on this assessment, I figured Javelin and Sarge were higher up on the rankings. So if I walked Javelin and Sarge together, it would increase the chances that the rest of the herd would follow us. However, the other horses do not appear to be following Sarge socially at all. They're following Janana. So that makes me think, do the herd members see Janana as more of a lead horse socially over Sarge? Even though Janana is arguably last when it comes to feeding.
Maverick!
If this is the case, then I wonder if I would have walked Javelin simultaneously with Janana together with me, then perhaps the herd would have been better off and glued as a unit. I don't know. If you are familiar with my property, then you can see that today we have hardly walked on any of my trails. We have not covered that much ground that we usually would have covered. And I really wanted to get more exercise in today. So I really need to figure out this dynamic. Who would you have walked together if you could walk just 2 and have 3 follow?
This was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. I'm definitely gonna work on work with Junetta more in the paddock because I needed to fix her Santa costume and she wouldn't let me catch her. So it just complicated things. So I'm gonna head back. I think we did decent today since they followed, but we got some work to do.
These are actually the moments that I cherish at my farm the most. I love seeing them in their little herd and going on adventures. Obviously, they are horses that have been domesticated for years, but in my head, when they're going on these journeys like this, it's truly bringing out their natural instincts and curiosities. They have had the opportunity to run in their herd, to strengthen their social group. They have had a heightened sense of their perception, to use their sight, to use their hearing, to see if there's any nearby dangers. They've got to investigate. They're grazing on different types of terrains, and it's truly is great for them and for their mental development. I know they're wearing their center outfits, but they are my babies, and it's a fun day for us at the farm for sure.
Walk, walk, walk. So I want to fix Junetta's costume, but she won't let me catch her. Well, Junetta let me catch her. Finally, fix her costume. You okay? I love you. I know you're having some fun, but you do need to be good. You're not wild anymore. You're domesticated, okay? Thank you for coming back, Junetta. I love you. She came back. I'm proud of her. We can continue.
Did you see the shift in Junetta's energy? For a horse that was as abused as Junetta as she was, and that has suffered and still suffers from so much PTSD, she was so shut down. Her spirit was broken. She would just spin and spin and spin. Like the flies would go in her eyes, and she didn't even flinch. She was just so shut off. And anytime I tried to touch her, you can tell something extremely bad happened, and that's, partly due to being sold over 4 times in that 1-year period before I got her. Now going to all these auctions, it was probably more than the 4 years that I was able to discover. But to catch her and to see how much growth she's had, it's so emotional to watch, and it's so rewarding. And
Order is restored. Good babies. You're doing so good, babies. Good girl, Mav. Come on, Maverick. You're tired. You guys are tired, I can tell. You guys did so good. But they're tired. I'm tired. Probably won't do 5 horses again, to be honest. It's a lot to manage, but this was a milestone I wanted to do. Sarge and Prince were out here for the first time. They did fantastic. Junetta is exhausted. Sarge! This is when it gets crazy, when they all start running at me.
it's time to get back to the stable, well, their pasture, the paddock, and get these costumes off and get some water and some food.
Everyone is tired. Javelin, me, Janana, Prince, Maverick, Sarge, we're tired. Wait. Time to go home.
Javelin will always be that one horse that I know that I could never outgrow. And depending on how her injury impacts her physically in the long run, from a performance perspective, she is still, in my opinion, quite capable. And although the injury essentially made Javelin's value nothing, for me, I don't really care what the value of her is on the market. I don't care what the market price is of Javelin. That's not how I value my horse. These are my heart horses, my family, and I wouldn't care if she's worth $1 or even $5,000. It's irrelevant. How I value a horse is based upon the relationship that I have with my horses. It's not a monetary thing or something that a market price can determine. It's irrelevant.
Come on, Sarge! They found some good girls. Good girl, Janana. Come on, Sarge!
Because of all the abuse I went through growing up as a child, being the youngest and not having the physical capability to protect the others within the household was especially mind-bending. And the truth is that I could have easily took two completely different paths in life. A path towards goodness, morality, and positive actions guided through the light, or a compliant, more destructive, or even an enabling path that many others took. The issue with sociopaths is the way in which they can manipulate the world around them. With the exception of my grandmother, speaking out against him was the biggest emotional struggle, because sociopaths have the ability to charm everyone around them. I wish I had a parent like that. You're so lucky. What are you talking about? Those words were probably the most nauseating words and frustrating words that I could have ever endured.
Well, nothing's perfect. No one got hurt, and we had a good time. And we learned that we can all go out together. I think next time I just know, instead of walking Sarge and Jav, it's gotta be Janana. Because Janana, you were leading the other horses astray a little bit. You're tired. She kind of got a little bit wild. That side kicked in and she didn't come back to me. But then her costume got twisted. I think she knows I helped her, and now she's super calm. We're gonna get all these costumes off. Right, Princey? You wearing Prince's outfit? Good girl, Jab.
For those who can relate to this experience, you may also have developed the ability to repress fear or developed a heightened protective side, like the protection that I have for Janana Girl. There have been a lot of people along my journey that I've had to learn to say goodbye to, or those people that I call enablers. But in doing so, I have met so many other incredible people, which have especially been appreciated after my grandmother's passing. I think I'm getting especially emotional and thinking of my grandmother Maureen.
Hey Prince, good boy.
Because of the holidays are coming up and it's just this time of the year. Although it was my active decision to choose to break the deep-rooted, multi-generational cycle, the truth is that even if I wanted to assimilate and join the dark side, I don't think the light would have ever let me go. Because it's always guided me, and it's something so fundamentally embedded in me, and it defines who I am today. If you are facing this situation, or a similar situation, my advice is to get out immediately. I have encouraged many others to choose the light, and you will see a whole nother dimension open up to you.
Excursion, and they are thirsty. You still have some of your costume on. Can you bring that in?
Our world of love that is so much stronger than the monster hiding under the bed, or a narrative that somebody is trying to capture you with. Don't let it define you. Choose the light.
So my horses never used to do this. Well, they did for a while, and the adult horses, they stopped doing it once they got the herd. They were out in the bigger herd. And then also I added more salt to their diet and minerals. And I did that yesterday too, but Patriot started doing it. Prince did it last week too, but he stopped. But now Patriot and Drakina are really getting a bad habit of doing this. Maybe they need to be out in the big herd, or maybe there's a mineral deficiency going on. I'm gonna ask the vet. What do you guys think? This is new. I know you can get like the no chew. I'm gonna go to Tractor Supply and buy some. Well, we're done. So good. Thank you, Janana. Thank you, Maverick. Thank you, Prince.